Okay. So today we'll be discussing about actions classes. How do we perform the key events or most events that we want to perform on a particular object? Okay. So element or object on the web page. So for this, we'll try to see some examples of this. How do we exactly use this actions classes and when do we use it? So I'll open a web page. We'll talk about what are the different set of things that we can. So these are the web elements. Okay. So these are the web elements and you can see. So what you can perform on this, like, you want to move this element, move to this element and you want to enter some data. Okay. For example, if you are not able to, you can able to identify, but if you are not able to enter data into this with the help of like syndicates, which are available as part of web element, web drive. Okay. Web element. Okay. So web element. So in that case, if you are not able to identify them, or else if you identify and if you are not able to look into that particular element and if you are not able to click on it. Okay. So in that case, what we do is like we are going to use the actions classes. Okay. So clicking on this, or clicking on this element, or clicking on this. And if you want to move to this, or sometimes you can see that if you can mouse over on it. Okay. So when you move to this, mouse over on it, and if you want to move to this or click on this. Okay. Now you can see there is kind of like some actions which are being performed. Okay. So this keyboard actions and mouse actions, if you want to take care of those things, then we can use the actions classes. Okay. So how do we do that? Is like we're going to create a package. Under that we'll create action class example and see. Okay. So let's go and create a package called Selenium action. So here I'm going to create a class. Okay, so before getting into this, I would like to show you the documentation of actions classes. What are the things that we can handle as part of actions classes? Okay, so for this, I'm going to use Selenium plus actions documentation. Now, this is a class, okay, which extends objects directly. So what is a constructor action and web driver? On which web driver you want to perform the actions? Okay. So, and what are the methods which are available as part of actions are like build, click, and hold the element. Context click is like right click. Okay. So context click on the element, double clicking, drag and drop. And then we have like key down, key up. Okay. So move by offset. So from where to where you want to move to element, and you can give the positions. Pause for some time. Okay. So then we have perform, release. And here we have send keys. You can see you want to use the ticks and everything. So these are the different methods that we are going to use. Okay. So we'll cover as much as possible, like from from which are the elements that you want to what are the actions that we want to perform on the elements and which elements require these things that we are going to see. Okay. So now we'll go to the example and we'll take the text that we have. Like we can use this one to save our time. So I'm copy pasting this. And now we'll take this particular side. So my thing is like, I want to click on this item. Okay. So I want to click on this show. Likewise, I'll do some actions. Okay. Here you can see mouse over. Okay. Mouse over. I want to click on this top. Okay. So top and remove. So for this, what we have to do is like, we need to create object for the actions classes. Okay. So action and I'll say ACT is equals to new actions classes. So we have a constructor for this, right? Which accept actions, which accept as driver as like a parameter. Okay. So this particular thing is residing inside. Which package is that we need to import is like actions. You can see open q, need to open org.openqa selenium.interactions. Okay. So now what is that I want to do is like I want to move to that particular element. Okay. So which element I want to move is like this is the element that I want to move. First you need to inspect this element. Okay. So it has got a button ID to left. Button ID equals to. Okay. Now you see. So how do we move to this element is like we need to use a method from this is like move to element. Okay, so move to element, and what is that element that we are trying to identify is like directly you can use the web element here. So d dot find element. So get element we are already using it, right? So we can use get element for that. Okay, so get element, but get element is part of get element y dot xpath, and we are going to use the xpath here. Okay, so xpath command driver. So what can we do is like it will return you the web element, right? So we can just capture that web element as part of a separate thing here. Element is equals to get dot move to element dot perform. Okay, so dot perform is like if you are doing only one action, then you can use the perform. So actions is like actions is a class, and it will you do perform the keyboard and mouse actions. Okay, so what it does is like it will move to that element and it doesn't do anything. It will just move to that element. Okay, so let's go and try to see this code and see. So we should able to see the top and reload options. Okay, so what it does is like it will just go to that element and it will stop. Just mouse over on it. See, it moved to that element. You can see that it is just showing up here. Okay, so it moved to that element, but now it's like, so let me just do it again. So you can see that it's just like it's just scrolling a little down. I can see it is just it will move a page little up. Yeah, now you can see. Okay, so move to that mouse over. When I mouse over on it, so it is moving to this, but it is like it is not. It is doing nothing. Just it is like moving to the element. Okay, so element was like this earlier. So now after we use that action dot move to element dot perform, just it was moving to this. Okay, so it doesn't do anything. So now I want to click on this. Okay, how do I click on it? Is like move to that element, and I'll just pause for 2 seconds. Like pause is like kind of we cannot give any threads dot sleep or any kind of a sleeps here. So that is the reason why we have a method called pause. Okay, so pause and duration I'm going to use like how much duration that you want to pause this. Okay, so just hold for 2 seconds. Then after, what you can do is like build dot perform. Okay, build dot perform in the sense, again, if we are using more than one action. Okay, so if you want to click on it. Okay, now dot click. Okay, click is the action that we want to perform. Build dot perform. Now it will do is like it will compile all this. Nothing but see action dot move to element dot pausing for 2 seconds dot then clicking on that element build dot perform. So build dot perform is like it will compile these two actions. Okay, compiling two actions, moving to that element and clicking on that element. Okay, so these actions, if you want to perform more than one action at a time, then we can use build dot perform. Okay, so now you see, so it should click on that. Okay, move to that element, and then what it does, like it will wait for 2 seconds, then it will click on that element. Now you should able to see that top and reload options. See, top and reload. Okay, just I'm scrolling. Now you can see the top and reload. Okay, so what it is doing, it is just clicking on this element and it is showing up top and reload. I want to click on top. If I say top, it should move top. Okay, so let's do that reload first. Okay, so let's do that reload first. So now what I'm trying to do is like I want to identify this element. Okay, in fact we have this element reload option. Okay, so Control F, and I need to identify this element as like text is equals to reload. Okay, so that option is not visible until unless we click on this. Okay, if we don't click on this, it doesn't show. So I'm just mouse overing it, or else we just are clicking it. Okay, so now you see I'm clicking on this. If I say build.perform, after that what it is like, it will click and leave it. Okay, after this what I'm going to do is like I just use this move to element. Again, I need to identify that element. Okay, so here I'm going to rename it as like move to element. So dot get element y dot xpath. I'm giving the xpath here. After that, the element. After that, to element dot. I'll take the same piece of code here. So what it has to do now, it has to reload the page. First, it will move to that mouse over element. After that, it will go to that reload and then click on that. Do you see that now the page is getting refreshed? So that's nothing but it is clicking on that reload. Just give me a second, guys. Hello. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just sending a mail. Okay, yeah. So now what we did is like just we try to move to this element and clicked on this and it has like, reloaded this. Okay. So kind of things we can do with the help of like actions classes. Okay. So I'll take you to something which will, yeah. I want to click on this for example, I want to click on this particular element. Okay. So disable or enable. Okay. I want to just, is like disabled. It is like enabled. So first I want to click on this disable. I'll try to see that if this is like we cannot enter any data. When I click on this enable, I can enter the data. Okay. So let's try to do this. Okay. So enable, like it can first, it's like when we open this page, it is enabled itself. Okay. So I want to click on this disable. Okay. But these actions you cannot visualize. Like it will be like, it's not highlighting anything, right? So only it will come to know that whether it is disabled or enabled when we click on this particular field. Okay. So let's go and check what is that actually we have here as a property of this particular box. Okay, so just I'm clicking on it, I'm going to get the attribute of it. Okay, so here I can see get attribute we are going to use. Okay, so whether it is clicked on this disable or not. Okay, enabled is like it should not get the attribute as like it should get the attribute empty. Okay, so otherwise I'll take another example, guys. So best example is to like hide show. Okay. So this we can check it in preconditions. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll take some examples from jQuery also. Okay, so we have another site which will help you to have this examples given. Okay. Mouse actions. I will just take the mouse actions here. jQuery autocomplete. So from there also we can take. So we have best examples UI. Okay. So here, here you can see all these are available here. Okay. So check boxes and everything, progress buttons here. See, when we click on A button, submit button, anchor button. So these are like different buttons that we have here. So we can click on them. And another one is like we can have context clicks also available. Okay. So let me just go here and try to take one best example, which is like, yeah. Now you can see, if you want to check boxes. You want to click on Paris. Okay. So what we do is like we try to click on them. Okay. So we'll take a for loop and we'll take all the elements which are there here and we'll try to click on it. So we'll perform same things here also. Okay. So two double twin. And then we have double click also. I'll try to take it from the different sides. Okay. So just I want to cover all of them so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. So let's go here and we have a lot of examples which are given here also. Yeah, interaction, selectable, non-selectable, resizable that we have. Yes, okay. So let's try to do this. So I'm going to first, I'll try to identify some elements here so that we can perform the click actions. Okay. So how do we identify the element now? I want to click on this New York. After that, I want to click on this Paris. I want to click on this London. Okay. So we'll take one at a time. After that, we can iterate it. Okay. So now we have like label here. So inside this, we have this check boxes which are defined. Okay. So expand this and you can see here we have a New York. Okay. But the thing is like we need to click on this checkbox. Okay. So checkbox here we have an option checkboxes. So first checkbox, first I want to identify so where this particular element is located. So it is available on the radio one. Okay, so we have a same input for. So let's see for this. So we have something when I click on this. Okay, it should be highlighted. Okay, so it's nothing but it should be highlighted. So when we click on this, it should be highlighted. Okay, so this is fine. So we can click on this label also, a label or a span also. Okay, so how do we identify this now? We have a span anywhere. Okay, so Control F, and we'll be writing the XPath for that label. Under that, we have a span, and what is that text that we have on that label is like this is the text. Okay, so whether it is in label, yes, it is in label, and we have under that span we have this, and under this we have a new value. So why is it not showing up here? Let's check what is that we have done here. So text is equals to new value. Label. Just copy paste it here. Into the span, we have an eval. Again, let me just go here. So label and label. After that, we have a span. Okay, so under this, I'm going to use lead them I want to take. Okay, it is available under this label itself. You can see it's not a span, it's available under the label itself. Okay, so we can directly give it as like instead of span, we can give text. Okay, that is equals to eval. Okay, so we have option which is available here. So I'll copy this first. When I load this page, it will be just checking on this first radio button. Okay, but with the help of now we are doing with the help of what is that we are trying with the help of like actions classes. Okay, so this is first example for moving this element and clicking on this. But now I'm just going to that element. I'm going to click on it. Okay, so actions. Another example class. Okay. So, class 2. So, paste these things and I'm going to take this. Then I'll be changing only XPath. Got it. I'm going to paste this XPath here. Okay, so you can use this move to element or directly you can click on it because it is available over there, right? So directly we'll click on this. We'll see that how do we exactly do this. Okay, so this is not required, and here I'm going to change the side. And one thing is like it is within the frame, guys. So what we need to do if you have a frame within it, within the web page, we have to switch to that frame. Okay, first we need to switch to that frame. So for that, I'm going to use switch to frame 0. We have only one frame available there, and we'll see that. Okay. So now we go and try to execute this element. We have element here. See, click. Where do we need to click it? So we need to click to that element. Okay. So here, click actions. We have like click, and we have methods called click element also. Okay. So click element. So instead of moving to that element, if that element is available directly, then we can go and use the click. Okay. So you can see that Okay, so let's go to this and again give the click. Okay, add dot. Now see earlier example, what we did, we moved to that element and we are trying to click on it. Okay, but now you see, so it will accept the web element also. It's a target element. Okay, so target, where do you want to click on it? So now you go and try to execute this program. So it should select the new app. See, it clicked on it. Okay, so now I will close it. I'll click on the Paris. So this click action, I'm not using anything kind of like, web element click. I'm using the actions classes click. See, it clicked on the Paris. Okay, so likewise, I can just go and try to click all the elements which are available as part of it. Okay, so we have this jQuery. I can see all the elements are part of label. So if I take a group of label, so which are available in this page, you can see a lot of labels, but I want to select only this particular legend labels. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is like, I'll take legend text. These are under the field set. Okay, so for this, what is that we actually trying to do is like I want to use the following sibling. Okay, see now I'm using the accessors here. Okay, so accessors, now it will identify. Okay, so there are like 3 elements which it is showing. So what I'm using now, following sibling, the siblings which are under this, I want to take them. Okay, so how do I do this now? So same action, but I'm just writing a simple logic here. Okay, simple logic. So what is that I need to do now instead of giving this one? Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's put it like that. And here I'm going to write. So what I'm going to do here is like, I'm going to get the web element. Okay, all check boxes is equals to element dot get all elements. Okay, so get all elements by dot xpath. I'm going to use this one. See now I got all the elements here. Okay, so now I've got all the elements. What I need to do is like, I need to take one element at a time. Web element, all checkboxes. Now I want to select checkboxes each and every. Now what I'm going to do is like, I'll just take this copy paste here. So I'll go to one element and I'll click on it. Okay, I'll wait for 2 seconds to take the next element click. Okay, so we can comment this code. So it's all based on like, how do you identify the element and what actions that you want to perform. Okay, so this all like, it's very simple for us. Only we identify the element. See, it's clicking on New York, it will click on Paris, it will click on London. Okay, so after that it will close. So what we are trying to do here is like, we are trying to take all the web elements from this and we want to click on this. Okay, so this action, what it is doing, is taking one element at a time and it's clicking on it. So it works similarly when we try to do this move to element. Okay, move to element E, then you want to click on it, just you can use the click. Okay, so click, and we have 2 actions here. We have to use build dot perform. If you want to use only one single action, then you can use perform. You see, it does the same thing here. So why do we use this move to element? Is like, move to element if it is not visible directly. So in that case, we can go use that. We can go and use that move to element. Okay. So what it does, like, it will move to that particular element and it will click. Okay. For example, if you want to see, this is like another couple of things that we have here, right? So let me just take this one. So we have a bed type. Okay. If we take this one now, so what we get, we have all these labels which are available, right? So we'll try to take it. Now I'm just changing the XPath of it. Okay. Everything is similar, only XPath I'm changing. Now, yeah, I'll close it. See, it moved there, right? So earlier it was like scrolling. It was at the top. I mean to say that it was like this. Okay. So it was like this. When we say that move to element, okay, we'll try to do that action again, like, click. Sometimes this click will not work. Okay. Directly, if you want to click on that element, so it will throw some exceptions like, unable to interact or element intercepted exception. Okay. So if some element is hiding, okay, I mean like element overlapping, in that case, it's going to throw the element interception exception. Here it is like it is visible, so that it is like it's clicking on it. If something is like somewhere it is located, for example, if you want to click on this position or something, okay, so now we'll go and try to click on this position. Okay, so Control C to left, I'm going to use A. Is that we have text as equals to position. Okay, so I want to click on this element. After clicking everything, I want to click on this element. I close this. So here I'm going to use action dot click by dot XPath. We need to find the element. Okay, so d dot find. Okay, let's use that get element. Otherwise, I'll copy this and paste it here. So it will be easy for us to just replace this here. And you can take element dot. So you're already clicking on it, right? So you can take one action at a time, right? So dot perform. So first it should click all the legends which are available, like, labels which are available under this bit type. Then it should go and click on this position. Wait for 3 seconds, 3 seconds. See, now it is not clicking on it. Okay. So what is happening now? It is available in the page. But what it is doing is like it is waiting for that element to get visible. Okay. So let's wait for 30 seconds because we have given wait for that element, right? For 30 seconds. What is that exception that we are getting here is like, it's expected time condition out and it's not visible. Okay. So before that, you can see expected condition. So returning this, where is that exception that we are getting is like, see, it is not unable to find that element, but that element is available there. So let me just go and check it again. So because this we have used for visibility of element. Okay. So what we try to do is like expect it to be clickable. Element to be clickable. Okay. So if we given presence of that element, and we'll see that what happens in this case. Okay. Take this p weight here, and I'm going to put it here. Okay. Directly we are passing this, right? So let me just So it has got only one presence of element. Let me just, yeah, I'll try to. Okay, so we got that right. So I'm just trying to change it, guys. So let me do it little later, because maybe see if I try to change those things again, I will be falling into that weight and also so we'll be going out of it. So what it is doing is like now it is like we are not able to find that. It's not like presence of element clickable. That element is not available there, right? So what I'm going to do is like I'll just change this code. Okay, move to that element. Okay, we are going to move to that element. Then after I'll pause for 2 seconds just for showing you guys how exactly this would be done. Okay, so let's not waste our time here. So I'll wait for 3 seconds here. Then I'm going to build.perf. Okay, so just I want to adjust that presence of element to be visible so that I can just ignore that exception. Okay, expected condition exception. But now it is like we don't want to waste our time. So what we do is like we'll try to move to that element. Then after we can click on it. So it's clicking here, but exception would be still returned because the expected condition is not meeting, right? So it's not returning that element. So it's not moving to that elemental. So let's do one thing. I'll just stop it here. I'll try to adjust code directly. So instead of writing this, I'll try to write this element. So here, okay. So instead of this, we'll write d dot find element y dot x path. Okay. So what this does is like it will go and search for that element within the page. Okay. If that element is available in the DOM, then what it does is like it will return you the element. Okay. So let me just remove this. Now we got this element. So we'll go and try to do this action now. So it has to click under this position. So what it is doing now? So it is searching for that element still. Okay, let me just identify this again. So it is available here. Okay, it is showing it is available here. But what is it trying to do? Sorry?
You are not given click dot.
Your voice is cracking. Is it Devi or Darshan?
Utkarsha here. Actually,
Yeah.
you are not given the click dot move to action.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So that's good. Yeah, good catch, Darshan. Sorry. I did not click on it. It's like move to that element, but it says like no such unable to locate this element. It's like showing some set of exception. At least like it should move to that element. Okay. So let's do this again. But the thing is like if this is not working, let us take like if this is not working, then we have another option. So with the help of like JavaScript executor, we'll be going to that element, scroll to that element, what we say, then we can click on it. Okay. So we'll try to apply different set of things. So this would work only when the elements are visible. Okay. So only elements are visible. Now you see, it is like it's not moving and clicking on this. So it has to click on that element. Okay. But still we'll get that exception. Here it says no such element exception because we are not scrolling to that element.
Okay.
Okay. So what we do in this case is like we still have another options that we can use. That's nothing but action dot scroll to web element. Okay. So here I'm going to use scroll to web element, move to that element, then I'll be performing these actions. Okay. So scroll to element is like it will scroll to that element where the element is located. like it's trying to find out and it will. See, this set of things actually we can address through the JavaScript executor. Okay. So JavaScript executor is like directly we'll use some arguments dot scroll to element. Then we have to give the element ID. Then what it does is like it will go and click on it. Okay. So just to give an example of it, I'll just we'll discuss about the JavaScript executor a little later. But now this is not working, right? So what can we do is like we can use another one. Another things that we have is like scroll by or scroll to. Okay. So we have options like scroll from the origin or else like where exactly you want to scroll. Okay. So from the origin, if I give not from the origin, guys, once again. Scroll. Okay, instead of getting into the complex things, I'll show you how to exactly do this. Okay. So one is like you can use like scroll of the actions actually. So for that we have here, see what parameters that we can supply is like when we are trying to scroll it, then we have to pass this parameters. Scroll by amount, like provide the scroll amount with the origin from top left corner of the view. Okay, top left corner of the view. So scroll by amount, and you can pass the indexes 0 to if you where exactly you want to scroll till how much pixels that you want to scroll. Scroll by amount. I'll take from 0 till 500. I'll move to element dot pass. Let's see that what exactly happens in this case. Okay, the scroll by is like another separate topic I'll discuss, but now it's like I'm just trying to click on this question. If this is not working, then we can use the other things is like we can just go to this JavaScript executor and we can use it. Okay, now we look at like move to element and clicking of this element. I missed something here, so here I think I need to give value. We have like horizontal scroll and the vertical scroll also. Okay, horizontal scroll is like we need to set the parameters like from where to where you want to pass. I'll just comment this code, right? Let me just waste the time here. I'll just try to. This is working fine, right? So how do we exactly use this? Is like we can just identify the element, then we can click on it. Okay, randomly, like not randomly, but in sequence, I'm just clicking on getting all the elements from there. Actually, so it says like unable to find the element located. Just let me comment this code and only take this without post on whether it is like able to scroll or not. Okay, so we have some few issues with the actions classes, but these have been addressed in version 4. It's not scrolling here. Let me just take 0 and I'm going to take 1000 something. It's not applying the things actually. Let me just check this one. So why this is not is like it's not able to find the element here. Okay, so we have problem here. Yes, actually I'm trying to find the element here itself, right? I need to scroll. After that, I need to find the element. Okay, so let's see that if this works. Let me just go and execute this code. See, now it is scrolling down, right? So let's go and try to perform this action. So now select what it says like unable to find element located. Okay, okay. So let me do one thing. I'll just wait for 2 seconds. If this is not returning as this element, then that is the issue with object identification, not the issue with the actions classes. Okay. Now it is like scrolling down. You can see that it is scrolling down. Okay. From top to bottom, I'm just scrolling it. And after that, what I'm trying to do is like I'll wait for 2-3 seconds. Then I'll be identifying this element. After that, I'll be moving to that element and I'll be clicking on it. Okay. So let's go and try to perform this action. Earlier, I was trying to identify that element directly, but it was not showing up. Why this is not showing up? Let me just check whether we have any frames in it. Directly, if this is not available in a sense, then there could be a chances of having the frame. It's not there. So in this widget, we have this option. Let me take this anchor tag directly. So under this utilities. So maybe it's a issue with the object identification. So in that class, I'm going to take widget, and we got the class here widget. So in that, I want to take the last one. Okay, so last one, if I want to take the last, then I can use this last. Okay, that is taking the last, and after that, I want to click on this. We have two positions in. Okay, so I want to click the first one. So let me identify like this and try to click on that. Okay, if it is not working with that object, identification, that's nothing but position with the text. So then we are taking these options. Okay, so now it will scroll down till the end of the page. Wait for 3 seconds, and it should click on it. But still it is waiting for that element to get available, because we have given the implicit wait, right? So it will wait for that element to be displayed here. By .xpath, and we are getting the element. So still it says like, what is that exception? No such element exception. Okay, there is something problem with the object identification. Okay, so don't worry about this. So it should work. But in case like you can see now the element is available. Let me just check with any other wizards if we have some show or something. I want to click on this, for example, add class, which is available under the effects. I will take it as like widget. Okay, otherwise we can see something which is available here. So it is coming from the first, you can see resizable. I want to identify the elements of, let us take the position as like, see, position is like another method which is available in the XPath. Okay, so if I say position 3, so it is coming under this. I want to click on the add class. Okay, so let's take this one. We dot find element by dot XPath, and we are trying to identify with this. No such element exception. This is it is showing. Let me just try with the last attempt. I'll try to find out why this is causing the issue. It should not cause because we have identified with that expert directly. Okay, so there in the we have identified the Firefox that we are able to see this here. It is showing up all these classes, but find element will take the first occurrence of the element. Okay, so at least it should identify this add class and it should click on it. So we have given the actions also. Move to that element and after that pass for 3 seconds, then click on that element. Okay, so let's go and try to do the action. Just that I want to show you like real time how exactly we work and how do we handle these elements. This is within the frame, you can see it's showing view frame, but this is not in the frame. But still we are getting this issue. I got it, guys. Actually, the issue is like we are switching to the frame, but we are not using the. What is that? We did not use. Sorry for this. Now you can see we are switching to the frame, but we are not coming out of that frame, right? So we have to use. What is that we have to use? If you want to come out of the frame. So that is the reason why it is not coming out of that frame. So we have to use d dot switch to default content. Okay. We did not see that one. Actually, we use the frame and we perform the action here. But we did come out of the frame. That is the reason why it is not able to identify that element. Now you see it will click on that add class. So now you can do you see that add class, move to the element. Now it is clicked on that. Okay. Now you see add class. So because we have taken the example here, I'm sorry for that. I just overlooked it. Here you can see d dot switch to frame. It's switching to the frame, but that frame does not contain that does not have this element here. So it is like throwing exact correct answer, correct error for us. Okay, so that's nothing but it's not able to identify the element here. So if you take the last here, now you see. So we need to identify these guys. Okay, we should be careful with this. So now you see. So if we are taking the last one, it will go and try to click on that. Okay. So scroll by is like we are trying to give like scroll by amount is like this is the method which will help you to scroll from top to bottom. Okay. I see it will click on the position. I see it is clicking on the position. Okay. So this is how we'll be doing it, guys. Now let me show you like now scroll. We have moved from top to bottom. Okay. After clicking that, I want to. Otherwise, what I want to do is like. Okay. After performing these actions, I want to click on this. After that, I want to use red.sleep. So only thing is like how do we exactly do this? When I debug it, I can understand, but I don't want to show the debug right away. I'll show you later. Okay. So first is like it's the position of x-axis and y-axis. Okay, x-axis is like vertically it's going to do this. In y-axis it will do the horizontal. Okay, horizontal scroll. Now I see it will click on the position. It will move down. Okay, after clicking on this, it will move down. Again, it will move up. Okay, go to the top. Okay, so scroll by amount is like it will help you to scroll from horizontal to vertical. Horizontal and vertical. Horizontal is like if we want to give like first parameter is for vertical and second one is like horizontal. Okay, so this is like it will move from top to down. It will move from bottom to up. Okay, when we give the negative value. So if you want to see that, we have to have the vertical. Except for the vertical, we need to have the vertical bar also. Okay, vertical bar also. For that, we'll see that if we can have some vertical bars which is available as part of our examples, then we can look into that. So we don't have here, won't have here. Okay, let me just take some sliders or something here. But still we cannot do these things here on the slider because slider is like one object that we have here. So let me take some Wikipedia or something so that we can have the vertical and horizontal. Page is getting shrink here. I'll just take the origin. Sorry, yes, it was like vertical actually we discussed about and horizontal I will be checking for that. Horizontal. Horizontal bar on your page. I'm just trying to get one horizontal scroll so that we can just use it. Okay. So here you can see we have a horizontal scroll, but this should open as part of like a page. Okay. So let me just take some page like register should have this. See, we have this horizontal. Okay. So horizontal and this is like vertical. So, but we have to put it in the dimensions. Okay. So we have to set the window size. So when we are trying to set the window size, second guess. Okay, so we need to take the dimensions of that particular window. Otherwise, what I will do is like I'll just wait for some time after the page is loaded. Then I'll just maximize it for some position. Then we can just see that horizontal and vertical bars are there. Okay, so likewise we should have horizontal and vertical bars. Otherwise, we can just put it like this. Yeah. So now you can see horizontal and vertical bars. Let me take that one. What is that we have taken is like register. So here you can see what we did is like we tried with the vertical. Okay, vertical is like the you can see these are the vertical bars that we have. Just try to scroll down. But if you want to do the horizontal scroll, okay, so horizontal scroll. I'll just take the examples of this in a different class itself. But now I just want to discuss on this. Like I'm just using these vertical bars here. Okay, so let me remove this one. So we can talk about this in the next class here. This I'm going to create a next class here. Scroll vertical and horizontal. Okay, so here I'm going to create. I'll take this piece of code here. I'll copy it. I'm just going to save it. So few learnings that we have looked at is like when we are switching to this particular frame, we have to switch out of it. Okay, so we did not switch. That is the reason why it was not able to identify this element. Okay, so I just overlooked it. Okay, so this is nothing but I just overlooked it because we have taken the example of selecting those set of elements which are there in the frame, but I did not come out of that frame. That is the reason why it was showing the element not available. Okay, no such element exception. So here I'm going to paste it now. So I'll take it and I'm going to copy this. So guys, I'm not taking only one side that randomly that we can use it, but I'm taking different sides. That is the reason why I'm showing you in different sides, not only the one side that we can work on. Okay. Okay, so this is for vertical. Okay, let me just write here vertical scrolling. Okay, let me just execute this code and see how this works at vertical. Okay, scrolling. Okay, so this is nothing but we are maximizing the code. That is the reason why we can able to see it. I'll not maximize this one. So let it be like, we have some normal size that you have exactly to take. Okay, so here I'm going to take 1000. You can take anything, guys. 1000 is like I'm just taking like pixels. Okay, size of the pixels. You can take 500, 200, where exactly you want to, from where to where you want to scroll, so that you can decide based on your page size. Okay, some pages would have like lengthiest one. Some pages would be like they will be very small. So in that case, you can decide how many pixels that you want to scroll. Okay, so this is for the horizontal. So it will be done immediately. After this, I'll just try to put some. Here also, I'll put some sleep. Okay, 3 seconds sequence. We have verticals and horizontal bar. Okay, now you see, wait for 3 seconds, it will move down. Now it will move down. Again, it will go to the right, then it will come to left. See, okay. So what is happening here in this case is like scroll by amount is like it will scroll the particular scroll bar. Okay, here you can see vertical scroll bar. It will be doing from top to bottom, and it will be doing from bottom to top. It is like from left to right, right to left. Okay, the scrolling, if you want to handle the scrolling of that element, okay, web page. For example, we saw that position was not available, right? So I want to see that, I want to highlight on that. So in that case, what we do, we can use the scroll by amount. So what is that? It is available at the bottom of the page. Then we have to use the vertical scrolling. That's nothing but, see, x-axis will be like 0 for the vertical scrolling. Okay, so this is like y-axis. We'll go to the scroll by amount and you can see this is delta x and delta y. So it defines, like you can see, the distance along x-axis to scroll using the wheel in negative value scrolls left. Okay, scrolls left. And here in this case, negative value scrolls up. That's the thing. But y-axis, we are giving y-axis, right? Y-axis will scroll, negative value will scroll up, positive value will scroll down. Okay, so here you can see, you can go back to this and we can relate with that. Scroll by vertical, I can see this is positive value. Positive value in the sense what it does, positive value, it will be scrolling down, and negative value will be scrolling up. Okay, so it will scroll up, it will scroll down, it will scroll to positive value. In this case, it will scroll to right. Negative value, it will scroll to left. Okay, so positive value scroll right, negative value scroll left. So this is nothing but the scroll by. Okay, so this is another method which is available as part of actions classes. And next we have like context clicks, and context clicks also, right? Like you can see, I'll just go here. We'll try to take the examples from the different sides. Okay, so here I'll just take we have some elements here, right clicking on this. Yeah, so here we have like right click on this, went to new tab. So this we can do. Here also, we have right click on this, move to this element, we can click on that. So, but right away, I'll just try to take some other examples here. So context double click. Okay, double click is like just you want to click on that element. Let me just see if we have any elements available here. So we can just take it. Otherwise, I can search for that particular element here in this results or something. Okay. So dynamic data, we don't have this. CK data. Insert some data. Yeah, this will not work in this case. Right click, it's not available. Right click. So double click element. Element sample. I'll just take sample page for that. Okay. So we have some web pages, we can just use them. Double click or right click. Okay. So we'll see that double click and right click also. I'll just try to show you. Results, autocomplete, sliders, and windows. Okay. So this is like all single clicks we have, and just checking for double click and the context clicks. Context clicks, what happens is like if you want to see, for example, if you want to just okay, so we'll take this one, we'll try to do this one. Okay. So context clicks, what it is like right click, we are left, right click we are doing, but sorry, left click we are doing. Okay. So left click is like single click, but right click is like we have like when we right click on the mouse, then you can see that these options will be available here. Okay. These options will be available here. So once we right click on this, I'll move to this element and try to click on it. Okay. So that's nothing but right click, and you can just do one click. That's nothing but when you one click and enter, then it's going to open a new tab. Okay. So how do we perform these actions? Now I'll take this example itself. So here we can take the examples of sliders or something. So I'll just take this one and I'll show you how do we do the context clicks and right click. Context click is nothing but right click. Okay. Let's click. So it's very simple. Just you need to copy this content. Coming here, just I'll change this one. Okay. We'll go here, and first I'll need to identify the element. Okay. So to do the context link. So this is draggable. Control Z, Control A, Control C, plus. Is equal to draggable. So we are able to identify this, right? So draggable is like we are able to identify. Copy this, then I'll come here and I'll try to identify this element. Element is equals to dot find elements by dot XPath. I'm just writing this XPath here. Just I'm getting this element here. Okay. So now I can use action dot move to element, or I can use, now you can see there is a method called context link. Okay. So element dot will dot perform. Okay. See, after that, what I'm going to do is like action dot. I'm going to use send keys. So send keys, when I'm giving send keys, these send keys are nothing but these keys that I want to perform using the keyboard. Okay, keyboard. So what is that I want to do is like left to, I want to do the arrow down. Okay. So arrow down is like what is the action that I'm performing as like I can go here. See, right click and I want to perform the one down key. Okay, arrow down key. So which is available on the keyboard. And after that, I will be clicking on enter. Okay, how do we do that is like we can use send keys dot send keys of keys dot arrow down. Okay, arrow or whatever the keys that we have, like you can see add, alt, everything is available here. Okay, so arrow down. The after that, what I'm going to do is like then send keys of one other thing is like I want to press the keys, enter key. Okay, so that's nothing but enter. Now I'll be performing these two actions at a time. Okay.
For entering the keys, we also use submit.
Kasha, your voice is like it's not clear to me. Can you?
For entering the keys, we also use submit.
Yes. Keys dot enter. Keys dot enter is like it will press the enter. Okay. So I'll do one thing. I'll just wait for. It will be faster. So I'll be waiting for 2 seconds here. 3 seconds. See, keys dot arrows, keys dot arrow dot whatever keys that we have on the keyboard that we can perform with the help of like keys dot arrow. And we have another framework that we call it as like Robo. That Robo framework will do the same actions. But if actions are not working fine, then we'll go with the robots. Okay. So keyboard actions or mouse actions can be done with the help of like robots. So it has like it did not move to this element. So it has to move one element down. Okay. So but it did not move it. So it was like trying to do those actions directly. Okay, I'll do one thing. Don't worry about this, like what is that and all. So I'll explain in detail. Okay. Dot arrow down. Okay, if you want to perform two actions at a time, then we are going to use the chord method. Okay, so I'll tell you about chord method also. So just I'm trying to check it. So it should open. It right clicked on it. Now you see that faster actually. So it is moving down and up. Okay, so but not on this particular element. Okay, so that's nothing but it should go and click on this, but it's not doing that. But the two actions which we are performing, it is doing on way of like in the same web page. Okay, so when we right click on it, so it is moving like just it is moving down and clicking on enter. Okay, so that is the reason why we are able to see this again. It is reloading this page and it is showing up this like drag me around. Okay, so this is not working in this case, but it will work as part of like when we want to have like we have some web elements which can be identified here. For example, this is like I'm trying to show you the example here. So this it is not moving to this particular because this is like kind of a web page or kind of like this is a different pop-ups which is showing up. But in case if you have some options like some elements like some web pages will have open it in a new tab or open it in a somewhere like let me just check that one. We have specific options for that. Okay, so in that case we can able to go to that particular pages or else if you have some hyperlinks to in that cases. Okay, so if you have any hyperlinks in that cases, then also we can move to the next pages. So let me just check if we have anything. Yeah, let me take the Amazon. This is another best examples of best sites that we can look into it. So for moving these elements or using the actions most of the time. Okay. Just trying to find out some. Okay, context click is like right clicking on that. Okay, right clicking on that particular element. So right click on that particular element and you can just choose some options in that case. Okay, so sometimes in my real time examples, what happens is like if you want to add a record. So in that case, we have like right click on that element and you can just select add, edit, delete. Okay, so in that case, we can go ahead and we can do the actions. But here I'll try to check for this orange also in HRM. So here also we should have these options because this is a real-time application. Okay. So let me just take admin 1, 2, 3. So context clicks we rarely use. Okay. So if we have any options which are like, kind of things that we want to perform the context click, then we can go and use it. Okay. So sometimes we can see add option is given here, but add options, most of the times what happens is like it may be option which is available in the context clicks. So we have to right click and click on add button, then it will show the window. Okay. But now in this case, we don't have that option available here. So just I'm trying to identify one such scenario so that we can just go and use it. Okay. But in case here you saw it, right clicked on it, but it was not performing that click action, right? It's not moving on to that element. Okay. But when we do this key downs, key ups, then it will go to that particular particular kind of pop-up, and in that pop-up, it will go and select that option. Okay, let me do one thing, guys. I'll just take some examples like real-time examples here also. So if you want to like double click on it. So when you double click on it, you can see it is showing up something here. Okay. So double click on it. So it will show something here. Okay. Take some like, anything like we have here, some air conditioner, refrigerator that you want to double click on it. It will show up the details of it. Okay? Here we did not log in into it. So that is the reason why it's not showing up. But when we try to select something like double click also. Okay. Double click is like different. Context click is like right click. Double click is like directly double clicking on the particular element. Okay. So let me just take some examples here. So in case of Amazon, we'll try to identify some element here and we'll double click on it. Okay. So starts with choppers or something. Okay. When we double click, it should open this page. Okay. So let me just identify this element. So before that, I need to just, I should have that element available. Okay. Now you see, we don't have any elements. Let me just click on this, double click on this. It is taking me to the login page. Otherwise, I'll double click on the watches. It is taking me, it is asking me to sign in. Otherwise, what we can do is like we can directly double click on this element and we'll see that what happens. Okay. So take this one, image, and this image. This class section, we have image. And image is like landscape. Class is like landscape image. And we'll see, I'll be identifying this element. Okay. So IMG. What is that we have? Alt contains that alt. Just I'm trying to identify this element. Okay. So alt of flight tickets. Okay. So only one element we are able to identify. So what I'm trying to do is like I'll double click on this. So when I double click on this, it should take to me the sign in page. Okay. So its sign in page should be displayed. So this is all about like context click. Then we'll talk about like double click. Actions classes, it's very hard to find the examples actually, because it's all depends on our how do we exactly use the applications. So in certain cases, we can see that most of the times we'll be using all the elements, like, only working on the elements, but sometimes we have to move to that element and need to click on that element. In certain cases, will be a little different. So here, double click, what is the reason it is showing up? Okay, I need to copy this one also. With this, paste it here. So now what we are trying to do is like login into this, then we are going to use directly, we'll be using a double click web element. Okay, build.perform. What it did, so it double clicked on it. Okay, I can see it double clicked on it, so it has opened this two pages. Let me just execute it again. Okay, you can see sign in is the page, it is showing up. Okay, so this is what the element we have. When we double click on it, you can see it is opening the page. So another way that we can do is like, this is first way, and the other way is like directly we are identifying that element and we are going to that element and trying to click on it. For that, we have to use action.move to element and element dot pause for 2 seconds at least, so that we can see the execution properly. Pause duration dot of seconds 3 dot double click dot build dot perform. It is moving to that element here. You can see the flight is showing up, right? So it is opening this. Okay, when you double click on it, it is opening this. That's like move to element. Now we saw that move to element. How did it move? So just it moved to this element here. It did not scroll, but it moved to that element. And double clicked on it. Okay, so today what we covered is like we covered how do we use this move to element, how do we click it, how do we scroll by scroll, how do we use the scroll by amount. Okay, so method and context click, then double click. Context click is like right clicking on it and selecting the options. Context click also I've given the example here. Okay, so just it will right click, and after that, whatever action we want to perform, we can do with the keyboard events. Okay, that keyboard events we'll discuss little later. I'll show you how do we do that. And next we have like double click. How do we double click is like when we need to go to that element and we can double click. And we have like drag and drop options. Okay, so drag and drop is like quite easy for us. When you say draggable element here, so you want to drag and drop. Okay, so drag and drop. Let me just take this one. You need to drag and drop here. Okay, so we need to drag and drop this. So that's like very simple. So let's complete this one also. Then we'll be mostly done with the access classes. Still we have sliding and all. I'll show you. So here also I'm going to take the same set of we need to identify both the elements. Okay, so here it's like draggable Another one like droppable. Okay. So we need to first identify this. We need to give the source and target. So what is the draggable we have? So let me identify. So this is dragging object. Okay. So you can see draggable ID, div ID of draggable. Similarly, we have droppable. Okay, now you see it's like one thing that we need to do is like simply we can use the methods called ax dot drag and drop by. Okay, so drag and drop by, draggable and droppable. Not build dot person. Okay, it will drag and drop. After that, what you get it is like we need to check verify, right? So we have to verify this element. So what is that we have? So here we have like drop. Control F. You can see view get ID equals to droppable. Slash P. Okay. You can see I want to get the text of it, whether that is dragged and dropped down. Okay. So for this, what we do is like we take the element. Otherwise, I'll directly get it. You dot find elements and by dot text path. Dot text. Context clicks and double clicks are little stringent, but whereas like we have what we have to do now, we missed one thing. That's the thing, but we have these things in frame. So for that, what we need to do, d dot switch to frame 0. So they put it under the frame. See now. So it dragged and dropped it, right? So we get the output also like dropped. Okay, so it's very easy. Like we have to use drag and drop. So this method will help you to drag and drop. So just you need to clean it again. Yes, you need to identify draggable element and droppable element. Where do you want to drag and drop? So automatically it will drag and drop that element. Okay, so drag me to my target is like drag and drop. So draggable is like where do you want to drag? Drag it here, drag it here, drag it here. So only it's like index. So drag and drop. Generally we use this drag and dropping elements. Okay. So I can see we get the drop also. So in today's class we had few glitches because we have used this. We have frames and with this and frame we did not come out, and we want to click on that element. So and so that is what I want to show, but it did not work because I did not come back from that frame. Okay, so this is kind of learning for us. When we make this small set of mistakes, then we can understand what is the actual thing that we are missing. Okay, so yeah, okay, so please practice this. These are like, there are a lot of things that we are discussing, right? So it's one shot, so it will be very difficult, and I'm taking different set of sites to show you the examples. Okay, so not the one that we can directly work on, and I'm just showing up this, like these things, like what are the main things that we have to look in, and we are working on it. Okay, so we worked on this. We'll click and click on hold. I'll tell you how do we use it. and how do we use this releases, and drag and drop that we already clicked in it, context click, double click, then key down, key up. Okay, so these are the direct things which are available as part of actions classes. And move to element, we looked into move to element also.
Shrikant, you have just been paused.